Hello everyone and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. In today's material, we'll dedicate our time to the topic of cats and the fish tank. Quite a challenging combination to say the very least. Before we take a closer look at this subject, let's first explore today's topic overview. Keep your cat away from the fish tank by making it inaccessible. House your fish somewhere with no launch pads or way to climb up. For security, fasten the lid of the fish tank shut. Deter the cat by applying sticky tape and unappealing scents to the aquarium roof. While cats and fish under the same roof can certainly coexist, so much depends on taking the proper steps necessary in order to avoid a very negative outcome. Prior to taking a look at today's first video subsection, a quick shout out, as always, to the best audience on the feline wing of the internet, the wonderful viewers of Senior Cat Wellness. Hello and welcome. You are our foundation, and none of this would be possible without your support. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. It is our mission to serve the feline community and do it with a kind heart and a smile. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to join us, and we do hope to see you again in future content. Now, let's talk about cats and the fish tank and how you can keep your felines away from your aquarium. In a word, yes. Some cats are borderline obsessed with fish tanks, and this can lead to a host of issues. With respect to the why felines seem to love aquariums so much, with respect to that factor, we offer the following reasons, most of which are rather self-explanatory. Let's first start with colors and movement. Primarily designed to provide us with a beautiful view, the majestic appearance of a clean and colorful aquarium can prompt the same intrigue in your cat. Bright lights, big colors, and the darting movements of fish. This is a recipe for curiosity. This is all the truer if you have a tank of multiple fish. The cat investigates, and that's where the problem begins. Next up, we have warmth. Cats, they love heat. They're always seeking out a warm spot to relax, especially during the colder months. Depending on the type of fish you have and the aquarium, it could be heated. Yet another layer of curiosity for your feline. The warmth of the tank could potentially draw your cat in. Of course, we don't mean in the most literal sense. Well, at least not yet. Next up, we have hunting. We mentioned movement a bit earlier. Some cats will view this movement of the fish as somewhat of a reason or excuse to engage in hunting behaviors. This goes beyond the colors and the warmth of the tank. If your cat has started to stalk your fish, they could be in danger. Shallow swimming prey can make for an easy catch. Keep in mind your cat has no clue as to what's going on. In the mind of your feline, this is not the family pet. It's a potential meal. In order to safeguard your aquarium, you essentially have to think like a cat. That mindset can help you when it comes to establishing solid safety measures, which we'll talk about here momentarily. Next up, we have running water. Of course, you can't talk about cats and fish without including water. If your cat hears the constant flow of water from the aquarium, that's just another reason for your feline to be curious. Your cat could conclude that the fish tank contains fresh water for drinking. And if your cat were to attempt to take a drink, the result could be calamity. And the final reason for temptation that we'll discuss here today is that of unclaimed territory. While cats and fish reside in very separate and very different worlds, the tank itself could be up for grabs in the eyes of your feline. Some cats will attempt to stake claim to the aquarium as a place to nap and relax. Even if your cat has no interest in the fish inside, meddling around the fish tank or attempting to sleep on the closed lid is just asking for trouble. I mean, you can only tempt fate for so long, just like so many of the reasons we've spoken about here today. The final result of this level of curiosity could end with a host of potentially negative outcomes. In order to protect your fish, it's critical to safeguard your aquarium. While your cat could be at risk, especially if your feline were to suffer a violent fall attempting to either get to your fish or actually get inside the tank, the bigger risk by far involves your fish. Here are just a few steps that you can take to keep everyone safe and your aquarium undamaged. Let's first start with relocation, relocating the actual tank itself. If given the chance, even the slightest chance, your feline will eventually allow curiosity to win the day. This is why keeping the aquarium out of your cat's sight is so very important. If you have the means to keep your fish in a completely different room or area in your home, do so. One that is shielded from your cat, then by all means, if you can accomplish this form of protection, please take advantage of this opportunity. Next up involves sealing the tank, another protective measure. Many tanks come equipped with a fitted lid, making it virtually impossible to get inside unless the lid is completely removed rather than simply being lifted. This is all about security. Take a look at your current lid and seal it in the best way you see fit, given the arrangement that you personally have set up. Next is unappealing textures, in the same way that you would deter your feline from getting on your kitchen table, for example. Use some form of unappealing textures as a measure to keep your cat from navigating the lid of the tank. Double-sided tape or aluminum foil could do the trick. Here again, utilize the best materials available that are unique to your personal setup. And next we have unappealing scents and noises. Similar to those unappealing textures, the use of unappealing scents and noises can also prove to be a very good deterrent. The fish tank in totality is just a curious piece if it's appealing. The more you make the structure as a whole quite problematic and difficult to navigate, the more likely it becomes that your cat will take its curiosity elsewhere. The final protection methods that we'll discuss today involve covering the tank and the use of distraction techniques. Covering the tank is pretty much what you'd think, the act of placing a towel or blanket over the tank during the overnight hours. The worst possible outcome out of all of this would involve your cat wreaking havoc on the aquarium while you're asleep, especially if you were not able to hear the commotion. By covering the tank, your cat will become less interested. With respect to distractions, this is more of a trained measure. Hand claps, whistled, a spritz of water, a stern vocal no, and the presence of your pet's favorite toy the moment they begin to show interest in the aquarium. Kittens are much easier to train than adults. It's easier to groom your cat into positive behaviors if they're very young, especially if some type of positive treat or reward awaits their good behavior. Once your cat discovers that nothing good comes from exploring the fish tank and no positive affirmations are given, then most any and all bits of curiosity will wane. It just won't be worth the effort, especially if a scolding awaits. And on that note, that will wrap things up for the video portion of today's content. However, if you would like more information concerning the topic of cats and aquariums and how to keep felines away from the fishbowl, please be sure to head on over to seniorcatwellness.com at the conclusion of today's presentation. There you will find a high-quality article dedicated to everything we've talked about here today and so much more. You can find our written content by clicking the initial link in the description box below. And once again, if you enjoyed what we brought to the table here today and would like to see and hear more, please like and share this video and subscribe to the SeniorCatWellness.com official YouTube channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us today. Please have a wonderful day. All the best to you and yours, and we will talk to you later.